All right, welcome back to Rockin' Bear for championship weekend.
Woohoo!
Rock, how these playoffs been? Pretty good.
Oh
Good
man,
stuff.
really
Upsets.
exciting. How about that? How about those
Comebacks.
Tennessee Titans? Oh my God!
Yeah, they're making a run. You're a dark horse. They're looking good. And they're going to start us off this week. They're the first game. Tennessee is headed to Kansas City. This should be an exciting game. I think this will be a closer game than the following game. So, Walk, what do you think? Start us off.
Well, Tennessee's 11-7. Kansas City's 15-3. That tells you something. Tennessee won the last time. Weird. Kansas City. This is what has to happen for Kansas City. They've got to take an early lead. Don't defer should you win the toss. Then maybe Mahomes sits on the bench for seven minutes while Tennessee drives down, gets a touchdown with Henry. Take the ball, score, get the crowd in the game. Maybe take a 14-0 lead, force Tennessee to sort of play hurry up, as opposed to taking the whole shot clock the whole time.
Well, not so fast, my friend. Last time these two teams played, Kansas City had a 9-point lead and ended up losing the game to Tennessee. And Tannehill's big first appearance for them this season. So not so fast for taking a big lead.
All right. Well, that's how. Do I think Baltimore could win with some turnovers? Tennessee, boy, oh boy, old man. With some turnovers and they can't stop Henry and they don't fall way behind, they got a good chance.
That's true. Henry, that being said, they are 8-0. Tennessee's 8-0, and Henry breaks 100 yards.
Wow.
So we'll have to see what the first half looks like and if superstitions are something. That being said, superstitions, I don't know if you guys know about the Madden curse, but Mahomes was on the cover of Madden, and ever since the origin of Madden, the cover player has had a decline in performance, which looked like so far. I mean, Mahomes had 26 touchdown passes this season, almost half of his last year, but still a good season, not taken away from his performance. But I'll see if that Madden curse will either be broken by Mahomes and he'll go to the Super Bowl, or if the Madden curse is going to live true and Tennessee's going to get the upset. There's some things leaning in that favor. I think the Tennessee, they gave up a lot in the air, which is going to be not really good for Kansas City, because that's what they want to do. They want to air it out. They want to get Kelsey open, because that's where Tennessee struggles on defense, is against the tight end. So, and also third down defense has been good for Tennessee. So Kansas City, if they can convert and they can get some deep passes, they should win this game at home. I like it. It's not to be nice and close. I think Kansas City is going to win maybe by a field goal or touchdown. So that 7 points is close, but
not so fast.
Not so fast, my friend. What do you got from me, Rock?
Friend. All right, a lot of tools for Kansas City with Tyreek, Watkins, Kersey. Kersey is like, speaking of man among men, there's a few more that I'm going to talk about at the end of the broadcast, briefly, of course. Tannehill hasn't had a 100-yard passing game in the playoffs. Now,
sure.
Like you mentioned, not so fast. Last time they played tennis, Tannehill had 189 yards.
Yep.
He can run. He's not Watkins or Jackson, but Tanny, once he scrambles, he can look down the field and they're playing good pass coverage. He'll run for 12 yards. I predict he gets 4 first downs himself.
You could.
So they're in this game. But that said, Kansas City's just too powerful. Andy Reid's a great coach. I love the Tennessee coach, his youth. That team camaraderie. It wouldn't break my heart to see Tennessee win, but I want Andy Reid to win the Super Bowl because he's been around forever. He deserves it. I have this score at 28-17 for Kansas City.
All right, that's a good prediction. I like it. It covers the 7. I think Kansas City, they blew their cork last week, so that's why I'm saying they'll win, but it's going to be a closer game than these experts are predicting.
Not so fast. They fell behind by 24 points. I don't think they blew their cork, but that was that bye-week jitters, right?
Sure.
Well, that's over, all right? Sure. So they're not going to give up. They're not going to fumble punts and have crap pop up in the air and so on and so forth.
But you're never as good as your last week. That's what you said.
Well,
so I don't
that's
think
pertaining to the Packers. That's
5 touchdown game.
That's pertaining to San Francisco. And what was your statistics on Tennessee versus the pass? Not very good.
Yeah, versus the pass, not very good. They struggle mostly against tight ends. They average, below middle of the pack.
Kelsey.
Right, so Kelsey's primed. He had 3 touchdowns last week and only 5 in the season. So, He had a big mismatch. They exploited that big time. But the last stat I'll leave you with before we move on, Kansas City's last loss was against Tennessee, and that upset that Tennessee ended up coming back and making up that 9-point deficit to win the game 35-32.
Ooh.
So that looks like it might be an over in the making.
Not so fast.
The Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium this time of year is going to be cold. There's going to be wind, so I don't think the over looks very good. It's going to be a closer game. I think Rock's on the more close to the right page of the score.
Well, yeah. Kansas City, for the first 10 games, they were kind of the 28 defense, can't stop the rush, this, that, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And they got pissed off.
Yep.
So for the next 5 games, they gave up 50 points.
Yep. They figured out
54 points. So like 10.2 per game. And who's going to be better at second half adjustments than Andy Reid? Go KC!
Go KC, yeah.
I agree.
All right, moving on from the AFC to the NFC. We got the Pack headed out west. Hasn't been good for them all season. Going to San Francisco, San Francisco's defense is going to win in this game. Their number 1 pass defense. They're first in yards per attempt allowed, first in yards per catch, and they're first at shutting down anything that's been more than 20 yards, any big play potential. So I think Davante Adams is going to have to take a seat. Sherman's going to be all over him. Aaron Jones is their only chance on offense. I think Bosa will shut him down. He did it against Cook with convincing fashion. So I like San Francisco here. I got some more stats for Rock. What do you think?
Okay. San Francisco has 5 offensive players other than the quarterback. The Packers have 2. Now, for the Packers to actually stay in this game, the tight end is really going to have a real good game. Jimmy Graham's going to have 6 catches.
He looked good against Seattle.
He had 2 critical catches. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind this. The overall thing, the Packers defense is pretty good. They got gassed in the second half because they were chasing Russell Wilson all over the field.
Sure.
Well, they're not going to be chasing Jimmy G around.
They're going to be chasing Breida, Coleman.
But they're not going to be the rushing guys who are going to have to stop that 3-pronged rushing attack. They're not going to be gassed.
Sure.
Now, keep in mind, 1 day's less rest for the Packers, traveling to the West Coast, where, of course, they're 0-2, both in
big time defeats.
Big losses.
Upset to the Chargers, and then 37-8 last time they played against San Francisco.
Yep. And, San Francisco shut down Delvin for Cook for 9 carries for 18 yards.
The kitchen was closed. No Cook.
No, very good. Cousins was sacked 6 times. Cousins has no wheels. Aaron has more of a rollout strength, but you still got to beat Bosa and the boys. Mm-hmm. And Sherman covering, you're right, Davante. They're going to have to double team him because Sherman's not nearly as fast. And what the Packers need to win, I'll go ahead and finish up, is they need a special teams touchdown. Last time they played San Francisco, they did have 2 picks. So they're going to need a special teams, a defensive touchdown, no turnovers, and big plays. Now, when the Packers played Seattle, they really didn't march the ball down the field a whole lot. They had big plays.
Yep.
And 2 of them were to Davante. So I've got this game 35-10 for San Francisco, and I think San Francisco is the next New England. Shanahan's a defensive genius. They went from 4-14 last year to 13-3. So that's my pick. Take it away.
I think San Francisco is going to run away with this. They're going to be eating rice-a-roni on their way to the Super Bowl in Miami. That being said, this is why. They had 5 sacks last time against Rodgers, and they held Green Bay only converting 1 third down out of 16. They were 1 for 15 on third down.
Oh boy!
So that's what probably easily led to the 37-8 landslide victory favor of San Francisco. And the unspoken, the non-player factor in this game is LaFleur was mentored by Shanahan for about 8 years. So these guys know each other's X's and O's, and that's why I don't think this is Green Bay's year. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go 1 for 3 in NFC championships, and Garoppolo's taking his boys out east to Miami to go to the Super Bowl. Rock. Should be 2 great games. I think the second one's going to be a blowout for San Francisco. The first game's going to be interesting. So what does that lead us? So our predictions then have us seeing San Francisco.
Let me say this. Last week, I brought up out with the old, which is Breeze and Brady, in with the new, which was Mahomes, Watson, and Jackson. I didn't put Jimmy G in there, even though it's just fifth year. This is his second year starting.
Yeah.
So I consider him those 4 quarterbacks plus the 2 good ones coming out of the draft, or maybe only one. Burrows looked great, didn't he? Wow, LSU pounded him. Back to you, Matt.
Sure. So I think that leads us for the Super Bowl. San Francisco's going, and then we have Kansas City. So KC, San Francisco in the Super Bowl, if our predictions are correct. Any given Sunday, we'll see. It should be good for Miami. Be sure to tune in for our Super Bowl show. It'll be our last show of the season. And comment down below what your predictions are. Go ahead and give us scores, winners. If you like an upset, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments. And like and subscribe if you want to be able to tune in for future shows.
Just in case we don't have a show next week, because there's only one game.
It's 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. You're going to be listening to shit for 2 weeks, right? So we'll probably have one. It won't be really long. But I'm going to make an early prediction. I might change my mind.
Okay.
I'm going to take San Francisco to win in a surprisingly low-scoring game. Because Bosa and the boys could stop Mahomes from all this Tom trickery, as they showed with the Baltimore quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah. And now, you go ahead. I got one more thing before we sign off.
San Francisco also with their defense and running the ball. That's going to be the keys to success. The 3-headed backfield's going to look tough. And Green Bay, they give up a lot on the ground. They average 4.7 yards per carry, which is 26th.
Whoa.
And 2 out of the 3 guys in that backfield average more than 5 on the ground per carry. So definitely a lot of the odds are leaning in San Francisco's favor. I'd be surprised if Green Bay can.
I want to talk 1 minute about man among men.
All right, who do you got?
I've got, not necessarily in this order, Henry, of course. I've got Kelsey, who blocks well and who played injured and came back. I got Bosa, and I've got the rookie Debo Samuel. So I got those 4 guys as being like just playing a little bit harder than the other guys.
Yep.
Who else do you like?
I also like Kittle. I don't think he gets enough credit. And then, Tyreek Hill, he's kind of had a sleeper year this year. His speed is unrivaled. He runs guys back. That breakaway touchdowns, he catches them before they get to the end zone. His speed is on a different level, so I think those are 2 more men amongst men.
Okay, well, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Do you have any final comments?
No, this should be a great game. Let's get ready for Sunday, guys, and
that ought to do it. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for seeing what we think on Rock and Bear. Signing out.
Have a good one.